Yo, bitches! Have you done your bitch homework? Do you know how to keep your bitch happy? Guys! I'm still talking to you. Okay, listen. I figured it out. I finally figured it out. Why men are so afraid of women. Oh gosh. We've got all of the religions, the world religions. You have all the men keeping women out completely. They can't be leaders. They can't, God has to look like men only. And, why are the men so afraid? They've made that sexuality evil, you know? They've made her dancing taboo, her singing, even in the Hasidic tradition, she can't sing. Why? Why you guys have been so afraid of the feminine? Why women have been afraid of their feminine? Well, you know that Maya Angelou statement where she goes, "It is not our shadow that we're afraid of or our failure. It's our success beyond measure. It's our gorgeousness, our fantasticness, our incredibleness that we're afraid of." This is it, guys. The reason you have been so afraid of the feminine is that she represents our higher octave. The feminine represents humanity at its evolution, at its best. And to rise into our best selves, that means we all have to embrace our feminine aspects, which are so caring and so passionate. And if you notice, like if you're taking care of a kid and all you're thinking about is, when do I get a break? When do I get to have my snack? When is this kid gonna shut up? That's your masculine. The masculine is like task oriented. But if you're immersed in the child's play and the interaction with the child and thinking of the child the whole time, are they getting what they need, and how fun it is to give them what they need? The feminine is hands down our higher octave. The feminine represents what we're most afraid of, which is our evolution. That's it. That's why there was the Inquisition and the burning of what, 6 million women over 700 years for being sexy and for being healers and for being midwives and everything, doctors, everything, weather workers and shaman, everything everybody needed. That's why they were burned, because we're afraid of our power. The witches actually got so powerful where they really could call the wind. I know this because I can do that now. And it's not because I'm so powerful. It's because my connection, my depth of connection with nature became so in love with the wind, that the wind is my friend and the wind comes. And so then the men get really jealous when the women, they call upon the wind to, like, say, take away a storm or bring rain, and it comes right away. And then the men would try it and they couldn't do it. And they'd be like, see, she's a dangerous witch, she's too powerful. And they'd be so scared, right? But it's true, the men couldn't do it because they hadn't mastered friendship. See, because the only reason that these sacred winds would come is because the women knew how to be friends. When you're friends with somebody, they care about you. They're thinking about your well-being with all their heart and their soul, and with everything about them. That's, they're cooking for you, and she wants you to have pleasure, even though you haven't given her pleasure for ages compared to what she's given to you. She's still thinking of your pleasure. What's wrong with her? It's because women are the higher octave. They are the feminine aspect in you is your highest potential. And if you were to raise into your highest potential, you're afraid that then you won't get your goodies. You won't get your movies. You won't get to lay around when you're tired and have her cook for you. And you'll have to, like, work all the time about something you care about. And the truth is, it's true. You will end up sacrificing so much if you surrender to your feminine aspect, the part of you that cares that deeply and is willing to put in that much work on behalf of the world. You will miss out on so much of your bullshit, so much of your gambling and your little petty video games and your stupid, worries about how much power and money you've got. Now, I am not trying to put you down for being a strong masculine who wants to provide for the family and protect your own. I want to be that masculine. I want to have that strength, and I admire you guys. Yes, my wholeness will only come by embracing my linear aspect. Okay, so, but your evolution, our evolution as a species, hands down, it completely depends on our embracing the feminine as our ideal. Okay? So cool. I get it. Like, it's just emblazoned in the sky in lights for me right now. Because I could never figure out, why would men want to shame women and make women feel inadequate and less than them? Why are the men, so insecure that they have to dominate women to feel like they have any power of their own? What is the hidden fear? What's the real fear? Because they're not really that afraid of pleasure. They all want the pleasure she can give them. It's the fear of your best self, your absolutely most developed compassion, art of loving in action, and everything you'll have to sacrifice. Okay, you're still here with me? This will give you a very helpful way of looking at this. There's 2 movies right out that you could see. One of them is called The Artist. It's a silent movie. The other one is a cooking movie with this beautiful Latina lady, and I'm sorry, I've forgotten the name of it. Okay, anyway, in The Artist, this silent movie, in the hero's journey, you as a hero, you're going to, at a certain point, enter your dark cave. You're going to enter the most dangerous aspect of life, and you're going to have to make it through that hard time, right? Now, in the fairy tales, it's usually that is the circle of doom. That's where the hero fights the dragon, and the dragon chases them with flames, or a monster like that they have to slay underground. I mean, it's like a grueling ordeal, right? You're going to hit your ordeal as a hero, and you're going to make it through to get to your higher octave, right? But this movie, The Artist, was so fascinating, and so was this other cooking movie I saw, because they were both the same idea, which was the hero enters the challenge of the woman's domain as his cave of doom and ordeal. He enters the place where the woman is so evolved and so together and so happy and joyous, and she loves him so much, where his ego is absolutely going to have to drop away. Now, this is what happens in the presence of the great feminine. The ego doesn't stand a chance. And that's the other reason why the men and the masculine within us is so afraid of the feminine, because she represents love and he represents ego definition. Now, am I saying the men are all just bad and they're egoistic? No, of course. We have to have an ego. We have to have a self. We have to have a character that we've developed in order to play a part on the planet. As anybody, you have to have your ego. But you know how it is when the ego takes over. It's supposed to just be the servant of the heart and the servant of the feminine and the servant of the family. That's what our ego is for, to make us discern and be able to have a challenge and meet it, and linear thinking and all that. But when this character, the artist in the silent movie, gets into the woman's domain, he discovers that she has saved him in every way, that it has been her power, her joy, her grace that has completely saved him from his debauchery. And he doesn't know how he's going to face her, even though he's in love with this woman, this actress, now knowing that she's saved him. Like, how am I going to be a man? How is she going to see me as a man if she saved me, if she had the power, if she's got the money, if she's got the house, if she's got the joy, if she's got the self-confidence and all of that, and she's saved me, how will I be a man? Right? And in the story that's so beautiful is that the way he meets his challenge, the way he makes it through the Temple of Doom, which is, it's his ego that is fighting. It's his ego that has to die. And it's her love supreme that he's got to surrender to. And that is the dragon. That is the hardest thing. Like, is he going to be able to let go of that whole ego concept of what masculinity is and become a surrendered being into the joy that she provides, that she is saying, awaken. Awaken here into this love and this passion and my love for you and my sexual appetite for you. Allow yourself to be worthy simply through connection rather than through everything that you own or everything that you have accomplished, but through your ability to connect with her. This is the higher octave of love. This is true compassion, true unconditional love that the feminine represents, right? Oh my God, it's so exciting. So you're going to you have watched a lot of my shows. I give you the challenge to watch all 740. Okay, that's a lot of work. All right, well, maybe at least skip to the end of most of my videos, because the best information is always at the end of my videos. And by the time you've made it through 740, sneak peeks, you will have surrendered your ego. You will. Now, this is the thing. You're going to look, Eve, am I going to be like a pussy man? Am I going to be like really just like letting her get away with everything? And am I going to have to be like her and be all feminine to be evolved? And what a nightmare, right? Well, here's a tip for you, okay? This is a big tip. I'll make another video on this because most people don't stay this long to even hear me speak for a full video. But this is the thing. The most macho guys who shoot up their wad, their energetic wad immediately, boasting and talking about everything they've done and showing off and talking about their ideas and this and that. The funny thing is those men who have this idea about themselves of what women want and what it is to be a man, they are actually read as very feminine by the women. They are. They're read as fragile and as somebody who has to be taken care of and propped up. They're not that we see ourselves as fragile, but the feminine is delicate in a certain kind of way. That's a delicate part of ourselves. Vulnerable, emotional, sensitive. Yes. So and when he's like on and on showing he's this and that and talking about this and taking over the conversation, what happens to the women is they are holding space for him so he can have all the attention. That's okay, except for it's not, because the feminine wants the attention. The feminine needs the attention to be feminine. So if you see a woman laughing and talking and joking and telling her stories to you or to a man, and he's deeply listening and deeply present and engaged, but really she's mainly being the flower, they've got a polarity going where she's getting to be really feminine, and he's the one in the masculine because he's listening, he's holding space, and he's giving her attention, right? He's got his attention on her. Ooh. So in lovemaking, that if you want her to surrender, it's the ongoing focus of your powerful attention on her that allows her to feel more and more open, more and more in love, more and more sensually alive, right? But most of the guys, when they come into the bedroom, it's all about how my cock and how much I'm pumping and how I'm buff and what am I doing. And what the woman feels from that, seriously, is that she feels like a man. She feels like she has to be the masculine, because as soon as the woman has to hold space for the man so that he can show off and he can be flamboyant and he can talk, he's in his feminine. Even if he's buff as heck and talking about cars, He's in his feminine. The feminine wants the attention. The feminine wants to be the flamboyant flower of expression, and to be penetrated by attention. So she's having to penetrate him with her attention and hold space for his river. Now that's the opposite of what actually has to happen for true polarity and true evolution for the male-female dynamic, right? So I'm saying to you, evolve into your feminine within you. I want you to feel. I want you to love. I want you to be passionate. I want you to have all those qualities that we attribute to the feminine. I want those to be rich and deep. But some of them you're going to do with your men friends, okay? And some of them she's going to do with her women friends, what, partly what she needs to get, and that's really healthy, and that's part of our evolution. And then, but both of you together, you're going to value everything of the feminine that's about feeling and the senses and the arts and green living and the earth and the animals and beauty and yes, beauty and sensuality and sexuality that's allowed to be very primary and very full of love and commitment, real relationship, okay? Family, kids, these are feminine values. but you're so afraid that then, I won't have any fun, I won't have any freedom. The feminine's value for freedom has to do with the freedom of total surrender into passionate love for life. That's where her freedom is. So you don't have to be afraid anymore of the witches. You don't have to be afraid of the feminine in any spiritual way, or of goddess, the mother, because we are all evolving now into our higher dimension. That's what the world is calling for. That is what's absolutely necessary. and now you're ready. We're all ready. We can see the absurdity of anti-Prezi baby dump in the United States, sitting in the White House, dumping on everybody. We can see the absolute absurdity of polarizing into only masculine energy of take and money and power. You can see him and Boris Johnson and various other guys out there with their complete, this Boris isn't nearly as bad as baby dump, but you can see this thing where it's almost like they came to show us, let's look at how stupid this thing is of being so afraid of the feminine. The feminine is the intelligence, world peace intelligence, right? That's the intellectual vibe of the feminine. Rising into your highest self, your highest aspect, is to say yes to her. And honey, it's sexy when she's happy and she's happy and she's happy and she's happy and she's powerfully alive. It's because she's having a lot of hot sex, and the reason she's having hot sex is because you have validated her and you have been the man holding space for her instead of making her all into the guy by you boasting and showing off, thinking you're so macho. It's a total mind fuck, isn't it? It's a total polarity. Like it's different than anybody ever thought. Those guys think that they are being so masculine, and they are completely defeminizing her. So you're going to have to stay in your heart while you hold space. You got to hold and give your attention to her all the way. I don't know. Did I say too much or did I say enough? Oh, don't be afraid anymore of your higher octave and of our evolution into the wisdom of the divine feminine. Oh, okay. And join me at Gaining Lightness from Eve's Eden. That's the woman's channel going on with remedies, recipes, and rituals for gaining lightness, heart, body, and soul. Okay, guys, love you. All right, maybe that's the last episode. Okay, we'll see.